Hi, it's Adam Phillips here. So we're up to day 2 for 7 steps to a successful financial year in real estate investing. So we covered a lot of amazing things yesterday. So we'll recap on them. And what we're actually trying to build here is our financial position. So we went through our income and expenses. Super important to know exactly what they are. We've learned what we should be doing with them. We made sure we've scanned all our documents. We've got them uploaded into a cloud. We've also looked at all our assets and liabilities. So we know exactly what assets we've got, what loans we've got against them, and what sort of equity position that we're in. So what we're going to be doing today is, okay, we've got all that data, but what do we do with it? There's an amazing piece of technology out there called a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet is one of the easiest things you can do to learn what sort of financial position that you're in. You can get all sorts of other fancy software, but a spreadsheet will work exactly fine. So I'm going to run you through some steps on how you can put all this data into a spreadsheet so we know exactly what sort of position that we're in. So I've gone ahead and pre-populated a template for you as a bit of an example of some of these income, expenses, assets. So the first column I have set up here is personal income and expenses. So the example here, person with $100,000 income before tax, after tax, $75,000. And if you've got a bit of a side hustle or some extra way that you have of making money, put that in there too. So we see we've got $10,000, whether or not there's some sort of other business income as well, dividends from shares, maybe some government benefits. So the total income here comes to $87,000. And this is just a super, super simple template that you can follow, but you can go ahead and create different templates if you want, or make them more fancier and import a lot more data. One thing you'll definitely have to put more data here is in expenses, but just a few little expenses as an example. We've got Netflix, haircuts, gyms, school fees. And the really good thing you want to be doing when you're looking at all these things is looking at and going, okay, do I really need Netflix? And I've also got Hulu and I've got Amazon. Do you need all those services? If you do, great. But if you don't, this might give you a bit of an idea of maybe some of those expenses you can cut out. There's some of the stuffs that maybe not absolutely necessary and a bit of a luxury. And same thing over here. You may earn fantastic money, or you might be thinking, okay, maybe I could be earning a little bit more income. Some great things you can do, maybe go and ask for that raise, or maybe put some things in place so that you can meet those KPIs so that when you do go to ask for that raise in 6 months' time, you met those targets. Is a lot easier conversation to have. Other awesome things you can do as well is go onto LinkedIn, fill out what you do for your work, and you can actually go and compare what you earn, compared to what other people get paid in similar positions. So we'll look through all these expenses, and I put another section there, deductibles, because these items here, potentially we could claim them to reduce some of our tax. Obviously, you want to be checking all this through an accountant, but just some examples that I put here. Like let's just say we're on a work training course that our work didn't pay for. We had to pay for it out of our own pocket. If you're in marketing and you did a marketing course, potentially that might be something that you can deduct. Or if you already have a real estate investment portfolio, did you undergo some training? A lot of people are working from home at the moment. Just like myself, I had to go and buy a new desk, buy a new chair. The one that I had was not ready for the high traffic that we've had over the past few months during a coronavirus pandemic. So list all those deductibles, expenses there, so we've got a really clear picture of exactly what all our income is and all our expenses. So we'll go over and have a look at an example of a template you can use for an investment property. So what you can do, and especially if you've got a property manager looking after your portfolio for you, they can do a lot of this work for you. They can go out and give you all your income, they can pay all your bills, and that's great. You can then go and hand that over to the end of the financial year to get all that analyzed. But I highly recommend for all your investment portfolio to literally have a spreadsheet, something like this, or whatever works for you, so you know exactly what money's coming in and out. it's going to make a lot more sense. You're going to know exactly what that property, what the position that it's in. So this is just a real simple summary. This is obviously a yearly summary, but what I do for all mine, I would literally go in there and put July, August, September. So I know exactly what's happening month to month. And I might have a particular home that's been performing really well. There's lots of cash flow. And I know there's some repairs that I'm going to need to do soon. Maybe that this is the year that I might, carry out that, repair that might not have been so urgent, might have been looking to do in a year, some sort of renovation or something like that. But some of the things we'll have here, so $15,000 income over the year. That's our income. Obviously, all these items here, they're all expenses. So interest that you're paying to the bank, if there's any local government fees, if you've had any cleaning expenses, insurance, legal fees, there's a lot more fees involved in this. But what we'll just see as a bit of an example, the net income for this. So after I've got all my income, taken away all my expenses, I'm left over with $5,400. So this particular home is performing not bad. And you can imagine if you had dozens of these, these sort of sums start to add up quite quickly. What you also really need to do is go out and get depreciation schedules as well, because this could potentially, turn into another source of income. So if you've got a toilet in your property, you've got carpet, you've got blinds, you've got all this sort of stuff, a lot of these things you can depreciate. And there's some great companies out there that will go and do all this work for you and tell you, exactly what type of items you can write off. Another thing you could potentially have in here is, what's that value of the property at the moment, and, what's your loan that's sitting against that property. So we can see we've got about $100,000 equity in this particular example here. Another sheet you could have is all your assets and liabilities. So what we'll do is look here. So this particular person, they own their own home. It's worth around $1 million, which is almost the average price where I live at the moment, across the Sydney region. Our loan at the moment is $500,000. So we've got, about $500,000 equity in there as well. So we've also got an investment home. That example there was $400,000. So we've got about $100,000 equity in there. We've got $20,000 worth of shares. We've got $30,000 worth of savings. We've got a car, but we do have a small loan against that. We've got a nice retirement fund there set up. We've got a bit of a student loan as well. So this will give us a bit of an idea of all our assets and what the net position is for them. So our total assets here, $1.8 million. We do owe some money against them. So our net position is $905,000. So this will just give you a bit of an idea of, maybe some ways that you can find out exactly what sort of financial position that you're in. There's lots of different ways you can do that, but a spreadsheet is a really good, simple, easy way to get started. So now that we've got all this sort of data, now this is what we're going to do is go into day 3. So step number 3, we're going to need some professional help because I'm not a qualified accountant. So we need to go out and find someone really good, maybe multiple people to have in our team that can give us really good advice on this data. So I look forward to bringing you day 3 tomorrow.